So today I'm going to start talking about the second thing that I believe an author, even a self-published independent author with a very limited budget, needs to be willing to spend money on, and that is editing. Okay, so like with my my 3 videos that I did on book covers, which is the first thing that I think people need to be willing to spend money on, I'm going to break this up into the kind of cheaper DIY options all the way through the pretty expensive, but again, you get what you pay for kind of options. Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk about kind of your cheapest way to go about getting editing done for your book. Okay, obviously the first person that should be doing editing for your book, and I hate using that word should, but this is an absolute must. Okay, so let me use that word instead. The first person that must be doing editing for your book is you. Okay, now let me say that you cannot be the only person doing editing for your book, and I know people out there who are their editors, and the problem is you cannot look at your story with an objective eye. You just can't do it. I've tried doing it. I know other authors that have tried doing it. You're too emotionally tied to the story. Okay. So the first route to go, and there's nothing, in fact, this should be something, in my opinion, that you need to do as an author, no matter where you choose to go for your editing, and that is getting some beta readers. Okay. So let me explain what a beta reader is if you don't know. A beta reader is basically someone who takes your semi-finished manuscript. I say semi-finished because basically you have the beginning and the end. You have everything in between. You have the story arc, but it's basically a rough draft. Okay, and so they take that rough draft and they read through it, and they just give you, normally a good beta reader is going to give you some general feedback. This is what I liked about the story. This is what I didn't like about the story. I was confused here, and here. Man, I really liked, your writing in this particular spot. The action was great. The emotion was, things of that nature. So some very, very general feedback. Most beta readers aren't going to be line by line content editors. You're super lucky if you get one to do that, because the other advantage behind beta readers is they're free. Okay, if you have someone who's trying to charge you money to beta read, run away. Don't even entertain that. A beta reader is, generally speaking, someone who really enjoys to read. They really enjoy the genre in which you write, and maybe they've read some of your other stuff before and they like your writing. Okay, so that's a beta reader. Everyone should grab, I think, anywhere between 5 to 10 beta readers. Okay, 3 is a little tough because you want a little more feedback than that. Everyone's different, so I think 5 is a good minimum. I think 10 is a good maximum. In this case, more is not necessarily better. If you're getting too much feedback, if you're getting too many competing ideas, that can kind of be detrimental to your writing. So find 5 to 10 people. They can be family members. I'm going to caution you in that, because again, it can be very hard for family members to be completely objective. Okay, so if you know that family member that is more than willing to speak their mind to you and tell you what they think, go ahead and grab that person. But just remember, mom and dad, sometimes they're just not objective. Everything you do is gold. Everything you do is great. So you want to find people who are friends that you can rely on, previous readers of your work that have reached out to you and told you they like what you do. Those are all really good resources for beta readers. One of the other things that I'll do with my beta readers is I will offer them a free Kindle copy of my book when it's all finished and done with, right? It costs you nothing. You're not getting that $2.99 or $3.99 sale, but they're putting in a lot of work to giving you great feedback, and so I think it's well worth it. Okay, so go ahead and offer them a free Kindle, or if you've got extra books lying around or they haven't read one of your other books, give them a free paperback, something like that. And then the other option here is, after you get your beta readers, finding a friend who has read your genre quite a bit. finding a creative writing student at local university or community college, and generally speaking, if it's a friend, they're going to do it for free. If you can find someone who is trying to get into editing, journalism, things like that, I've found that, I've come across that, those kinds of people where they're willing to do it for free just so they can kind of put that on their resume, right? These are all very, very cheap options, right? Beta reading is great. You absolutely need to find beta readers. Finding a friend to do a line-by-line content edit, finding a creative writing student to be doing a line-by-line content edit. They can be good, okay, but in my opinion, there's definitely better options, which I'll be talking about in subsequent videos. But the big one with this video is the beginning to your editing process needs to be 5 to 10 beta readers, okay? These are people who are gonna give you general feedback. Oftentimes, if they find some big mistakes, missing words and phrasing and maybe some contradictions here and there, they'll tell you, but they're not doing a line-by-line content edit, which is okay. You don't want to do a line-by-line content edit in your first draft, even your second draft, maybe even your third draft. So in my last video, I'll kind of give you my process when it comes to editing, because that's a lot of work, and your story really isn't finished yet in that first draft, okay? And if you think your story is finished in the first draft, right, you need to kind of change your mentality, change your thinking there, because it's not, it can't be, okay? It doesn't matter how much outlining you've done, that first draft is always gonna need some rewrites, okay? So the first step in the editing process is gonna be to find those 5 to 10 beta readers, have them read through your stuff, be as honest as they humanly possibly can be. And then again, it's not a bad idea. It's not a terrible thing if you have a friend that's willing to edit for you, if you find a creative writing student that's willing to edit for you. But I don't think that should be your end stop. I don't think that should be the last place you go to get editing. Again, kind of like book covers, you get what you pay for. Okay, so find those 5 to 10 beta readers. If you haven't published a book yet, you can go to Goodreads, go to a forum on Goodreads, go to a forum on Facebook. There's always people there that are willing to beta read, who have, they post on there that they like beta reading. And again, give them a little carrot at the end of the stick. Give them something. When I'm all done, I'll give you a free Kindle copy, something like that, okay? 5 to 10 beta readers that are willing to read through your first draft, give you some general feedback, so you can move on to the next steps in editing. So I hope this first video was helpful. Please make sure you check out my next video. Well, I'll be expanding on editing a little bit. Until next time, happy reading. And for those of you out there that are writing your book, go ahead and start finding those beta readers now, okay? Until next time.